The night was quiet. Then the village began to burn. Flames covered the homes of lions. Smoke filled the sky. Cobra warriors moved through the village, attacking the lions and taking their children. Among the burning houses stood Hatari, a powerful brown lion with a huge black mane. He wore dark leather warrior armor and carried an ancient sword. But Hat was not fighting, he was crying. He had watched his village fall. Then he saw something that broke his heart. The young lion daughter, Zuri, was being carried away by the Cobra clan. Hatari tried to reach her, but the burning building collapsed in front of him. Hatari called her name, Zuri! The Cobra warrior disappeared into the darkness. Hatari fell on his knee. Then he heard something, a small cry. Help! Hatari stood quickly. He ran towards the sound. Hatari moved through the burning village. He heard the cry again. He pulled away burning pieces of wood. Under them, he found his wife, Amara. She was trapped beneath a thick, fireproof blanket. Hatari quickly pulled her out. Amara, are you okay? He hugged her tightly. Amara was weak, but she was alive. Hatari looked at the burning village. Then he looked in the direction where Zuri had been taken. They took our daughter. Amara held her hand. Then go and bring her home. Hatari looked at her. I can't leave you. Amara shook her head. I survived this. I can survive what comes next. She looked into his eyes. Go, Hatari. Find our daughter. Hatari picked up his magical sword. He looked at Amara one last time. Then he walked into the darkness. Hatari traveled for many days. He crossed deserts, mountains, dark forest. At night, he slept beneath trees with his sword beside him. He often looked at small wooden toy. It belonged to Zuri. It reminded him where he was traveling. Hatari, I'm coming for you, Zuri, he often said in his heart. He believed the moment he had reached the Cobra village, he would simply take his daughter and return home. He had no idea that Cobrax was already waiting for him. Hatari finally reached the Cobra kingdom. It was not a normal kingdom. It was a giant black kingdom built in the mountains. Huge snake statues stood around the entrance. Hatari walked towards the gates. I know you are here, Zuri. Suddenly, hundreds of Cobra soldiers appeared. Hatari pulled out his magical sword. The Cobra soldiers attacked. Hatari fought back. His sword moved through the air with incredible speed, but there was too many soldiers for him to handle. Many appeared from the behind. Chains were thrown around his body. Hatari fell. The sword was knocked from his hand. Then he heard a familiar voice. Zuri's. Father. Hatari looked up. His daughter was standing in the high balcony. She was alive. Hatari tried to reach her, but the soldiers dragged him away. Hatari was taken into a huge throne room. Sitting on the throne was Cobrax, the Cobra King. Cobrax was an enormous black cobra with golden markers and a golden crown. He smiled at Hatari. Cobrax, welcome, Hatari. Hatari stared at him. Where is my daughter? Cobrax pointed towards the balcony. She is safe. Hatari became angry. Release her. Cobrax laughed quietly. You still don't understand. He moved closer. Zuri was never the real target. Hatari's eyes widened. You were. Cobrax explained that the Cobra Kingdom had held warrior tournaments for generations. The best warriors from different kingdoms came to fight inside giant arenas. But the Cobra Kingdom's champion had recently died. Cobrax needed a new champion, so he had created a plan. Take Hatari's daughter, wait for Hatari to come, then force him to fight. You used my daughter to bring me here, Hatari said. Exactly, Cobrax replied. Hatari tried to attack him. Guards stopped him. Cobrax pointed at Zuri. You want your daughter? He asked. Hatari stopped. Fight for me. Cobrax explained the rules. Hatari had to fight 5 powerful warriors from 5 different kingdoms. If he won all 5 fights, he and Zuri would be free. If he lost, Zuri would remain at Cobrax's kingdom. Hatari had no choice. I will fight. Cobrax smiled. Then let the games begin. Hatari entered the first arena. It was beside a huge ocean. The walls were wet. Waves crashed against the arena. A giant gate opened. Out came Brutus, a huge saltwater crocodile covered with thick armor. Brutus stared at Hatari. You will not leave this arena. Then, gong sound. Brutus attacked. Boom! Hatari was thrown across the ground. Brutus attacked again. Hatari jumped away. Suddenly, water began filling the arena. Brutus disappeared beneath the water. Hatari looked around. Nothing. Then, a huge shadow moved beneath him. Hatari jumped just before Brutus attacked. Hatari climbed onto a broken stone pillar. Brutus charged. Hatari jumped onto his back and used his magical sword to knock Brutus' weapon away. Brutus fell. The gong sound. Hatari won. The second arena was inside a frozen mountain. Snow fell from the sky. Hatari entered. A huge brown bear walked through the gate. His name was Magnus. He wore heavy stone armor. Magnus was enormous. The fight began. Magnus punched the ground. The impact sent Hatari flying. Hatari got up. Magnus charged again. Hatari moved away. Magnus hit the pillar stone. Crack. The pillar broke. Hatari realized Magnus was too strong to defeat by force. He used his speed instead. He moved around the arena until Magnus became tired. Magnus charged one final time. Hatari moved aside. Magnus crashed into a broken wall. The wall began falling. Hatari could have attacked. Instead, he saved Magnus from being crushed. Magnus looked at Hatari. For the first time, he smiled. He dropped his weapon. Magnus, you fight with honor. The gong sound. Hatari had won. The third arena was a huge desert. The sand was hot. The gates opened. A giant Cape buffalo entered. His name was Jabari. He was huge. He had huge horns too, and a heavy metal armor. He stared at Hatari. Run while you can. The gong sounded. Jabari charged. Hatari ran. Jabari destroyed everything in his path. Hatari could not fight him directly, so he created a plan. He ran towards a broken stone platform. Jabari followed. At the last second, Hatari jumped away. Jabari crashed onto the platform. The ground collapsed beneath him. Jabari fell into a deep sand pit. Hatari jumped down. Instead of attacking him, Hatari offered his hand. Jabari stared at him. Then he accepted. The buffalo stood. He dropped his weapon. The gong sound. Hatari won again. 3 fights, 2 remained. The fourth arena was dark. Mist covered the ground. Hatari could barely see. Then he heard a strange sound. 3 giant-headed rose from the darkness. It was Zarek, the 3-headed python. Each head moved differently. One was angry, one was clever, one was completely unpredictable. The fight began. All 3 heads attacked Hatari at once. Left, right, above. Hatari blocked one attack. He dodged another. The third head attacked from behind. Hatari rolled across the ground. His magical sword began glowing. He attacked Zarek. The python wrapped its giant body around a stone pillar. It swung the pillar towards Hatari. Hatari jumped. He landed on the python's back. Zarek attacked with all 3 heads. Hatari moved quickly. He struck Zarek's armor. The giant python fell. The arena became silent. Hatari had won. But then, crack. Hatari looked at his sword. A large crack appeared across his magical blade. He lifted it. Crack. The sword broke. Hatari stared at the broken weapon. He had 1 fight left. And the final warrior was the most dangerous of them all. The final arena was enormous. Thousands of animals watched from the shadows. Hatari entered. His magical sword was broken. Kobrax watched from his throne. Kobrax, you have done well. He smiled, but you have never met Nyx. The lights went out. Dark smoke filled the arena. Hatari looked around. Nothing. Then 2 yellow eyes appeared. Nyx, the black panther, stepped from the smoke. He was covered in dark armor. He was calm. He said nothing. The cone sounded. Nyx disappeared. Whoosh. Hatari was hit from behind. He fell. Nyx disappeared again. Another attack. Hatari could barely see him. The black smoke became thicker. Nyx was everywhere. Hatari tried to attack. Nothing. He realized something. Nyx was using the smoke to hide his movements. So Hatari closed his eyes. He stopped looking. He listened. Footsteps. Silence. A heartbeat. Nyx attacked. Hatari moved at the last second. The 2 warriors collided. Nyx was faster. Hatari was stronger. The fight continued. Hatari's broken sword fell away. He was now fighting without a weapon. Nyx raised his weapon. Hatari grabbed it. The 2 warriors struggled. Hatari pushed Nyx backwards. Nyx disappeared into the smoke. Hatari waited. He knew Nyx would attack again. The smoke moved. Hatari turned. Nyx disappeared behind him. Hatari caught him. The 2 warriors crashed into the ground. Hatari grabbed a broken piece of his magical sword. It began glowing. Nyx charged. Hatari charged. They collided. A huge flash of light filled the arena. The smoke disappeared. Silence. Nyx fell to his knees. His weapon dropped. The gong sounded. Hatari had won. Kobrax slowly stood. He looked shocked. Hatari walked towards him. Hatari, my daughter. Kobrax looked at Zuri. The guards released her. Zuri ran towards her father. Hatari dropped to his knees. His daughter jumped into his arms. I knew you would win. Hatari hugged her tightly. Hatari, I promised your mother. Kobrax kept his word. The gates opened. Hatari and Zuri were allowed to leave. They began their journey home. Months later, Hatari finally saw his village. But something was different. The village had been rebuilt. New houses stood everywhere. Animals were working. Hatari smiled. Your mother did it. Mother? Zuri asked. Amara appeared. She looked at Zuri. She started crying. She ran towards her daughter. They hugged. Hatari watched from a distance. For a moment, everything felt perfect. Then Hatari noticed something. There was another small house beside their home. He could hear cubs laughing inside. Hatari looked at Amara. A young male lion walked outside. Then another cub appeared. Hatari's smile disappeared. Who are they? Amara became silent. Hatari looked at her. Amara. She lowered her head. Amara said, Hatari, you were gone for months. Hatari slowly understood. While he was fighting the 5 warriors to bring Zuri home, Amara had started another family. Hatari looked at Zuri, then at Amara. His heart broke. He had defeated crocodiles, bears, buffaloes, 3-headed python, an undefeatable black panther. But this was a fight he could not win with a sword. Hatari dropped the broken magical blade onto the ground. Clang. He walked away. Then the broken sword began to glow. Black smoke slowly appeared around it. Hatari stopped. He turned around. A strange symbol appeared on the sword. The same symbol he had seen inside Kobrax's palace. Hatari's eyes widened. What did Kobrax really do?
Your war begins tonight.